Hey Strohara, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite ships ever, Simone and Amber from Soy Luna. I'm going to do top 20 um, moments from the two of them throughout the course of the series. I want to thank a couple people that I've made friends with via Twitter who, when I posted about uh, scenes that they love so that I could make this video, they gave me several scenes, which was helpful as I was trying to figure out which scenes, because this was very hard because there's so many scenes I liked, and there are a few scenes I ended up cutting, not just from the list but from the honorable mentions as well, that were near the end because they weren't just Simbar, they were like Simone and Amber and Luna and Mateo, which I love those scenes. They're so cute, both couples being happy and everything. But I wanted this list to be just Simone and Amber, so as long as the list has to do with the two of them, then it was included. And yeah. And if I missed your favorite moment, let me know. Maybe I could do a part two or whatever, because there are a lot of scenes and I probably missed a lot of good ones. So, but these are some of my favorite scenes, and even the ones that are lower on the list, like 18, 19, 20, or in honorable mentions that didn't officially make the list but were good enough for me to want to at least mention. Um, it doesn't mean I don't like them, because obviously I love almost pretty much every Simbar scene for the most part. Like I'm in love with them anyways, and it just means that I didn't like them as much as some of the ones that were higher up, because it was very hard, and the ones that didn't make the list or the ones that were low on the list I still love. It just there had to be something that was down further on the list. So yeah. But without further ado, number 20, I have the list on my phone. Number 20 is Amber's birthday.
Sé quién soy y estoy buscando algo donde voy. Siempre te encuentro, sigo soñando. Sé de ti y estás diciendo algo donde vas. Siempre te encuentro, yo seguiré a tu lado. Luces que se encienden, crece mi pasión. Sueña que es posible, sube al telón, te sube al telón. Vibras en mí, suelto mi voz, música es, solo no estoy, nacen y siendo melodías que lo cuentan todo. Ven a cantar, seamos dos, música en ti, libres de amor, cambiando el mundo. Libres de amor, cambiando el mundo. Siempre música seremos todos, música seremos todos. Wow, 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 wow. Siempre música seremos todos. Wow, wow, wow.
I think this is my only season 1 Simbar moment, which season 1 Simbar is just so underrated. They were so good and cute, and so much chemistry even in season 1. But this scene is just like the first real moment, I think, that you can definitely tell there's something there. There's like potential there for the two of them to become something more. Um, Simone was singing. First off, I really loved when Simone gave Amber flowers, and Amber was like genuinely so. She genuinely smiled. She was like, "That's so sweet," because it's Simone, and he's always sweet. But and then but more importantly, when Simone sang Amber a song for her birthday and he was looking at her, and Amber, what kills me about this is Amber's little look she gives him. Um, Cause she kind of gives him this one over, like she's looking at him, and it's like she has this little smirk. It's like she's seen him differently for the first time, and this is my own personal theory, but I think this is actually when her feelings for him started. Like, I think she had some sort of feelings, attraction for him at this moment, but she was still it still took her a very, very long time to admit it, obviously, because even after she was actually getting close to him, she still wouldn't admit it for the longest time. So I just think this is when, because I think they have this very much of a slow burn relationship, and I feel like this was like the moment it truly started for the two of them. So yeah, so it has a special place in my heart, and I had to make the list even if it was last on the list. Number 19, second almost kiss.
A ver si te pasaba algo. ¿Por qué me miras así?
Perdón. Es que no deja de sorprenderme que alguien se interese de verdad por lo que a mí me pasa. No sé, estos días me estuve sintiendo un poco sola y no está muy bueno.
¿Sigues molesta con tus amigas? Ambar, no me tienes que contar ahorita lo que te pasa, de verdad, pero quiero que sepas que cuentas conmigo. Si quieres platicar con alguien o si quieres que alguien te escuche, no sé si... Aquí estoy.
¿Por qué sos tan bueno conmigo?
El agua se me...
Sí, no.
Me tengo que ir.
Anda, tranquilo.
So they have a few almost kisses, like before their first kiss, and then when they're broken up, they have a few almost kisses too. But the second almost kiss was after they were skating, and then Simone and Amber were talking, and Simone was telling Amber how she's not alone, and he was saying some really nice things to her about herself, saying how amazing she is and everything, and that confused her because she never really had anyone who did that for her, and she kind of looked at him all like intrigued, like can someone actually see me in this way like he does? And then they almost kissed, but the water bottle Amber was holding fell to the floor, which no, or it might have been Simone holding it. Either way, one of them was holding a water bottle that fell, and that broke them out of their little trance, and they became very awkward. But it's such a cute moment, and it shows how close they've gone and how much they are falling for each other, even if neither one of them are willing to actually admit that they have fallen for each other. Number 18, Simone convinces Amber to go on stage.
¿Por qué no estás en la fiesta? Ambar, ¿estás bien? ¿Qué te pasa, bonita?
No lo sé. No lo sé todavía. Todavía no lo tengo claro.
Bueno, si tú quieres, puedo estar aquí. La verdad es que no tengo mucho tiempo, pero te espero. Tal vez te sirvo de compañía.
No. No te preocupes por mí. No, yo ya voy a estar bien. Anda y perdóname, que no puedo ayudarte.
No pasa nada. No pasa nada. Quiero que estés bien, Ambar. Y no me gusta que te quedes las cosas guardadas. Hay maneras de sacarlas, como cantando o bailando. Tal vez contándoselo a un amigo, como a mí. Voy a salirme, ¿ok? Quédate tranquila, Ambar. Y lo que necesites, estoy aquí. Con permiso.
Simón. Espera.
So, another one of my favorites, and I think this is the moment the tables truly turn on Simbar, even more so than Amber's birthday episode. which is the episode where they perform Como Me Vas for the video competition. Um, Amber found out she's not Sol Benson, and she's obviously crying, and Simone goes to her to ask her to sing with him because both him and Mateo need to sing a duet with somebody. Um, and Simone's choice was Amber, and he but she could see she was upset. He tried to get her to talk to him, but when she wouldn't, he was like, okay, if you don't want to talk, that's fine, but I'm here if you need anything. Sometimes, singing can help, and you can sing your emotions and you can feel better. But I'll leave you alone, and you can um and yeah, and she stops him before he leaves, and she and then next thing you know, you see her going on stage with him, and it's just really sweet because I just love how Simone is just so patient with her, and he's like, if you don't want to talk, that's fine. You don't want to go out there and sing, that's fine. uh you just need to do what you need to do to feel better, and just know that whenever you are ready, I'm here for you. And it's just so adorable, so sweet. Number 17. Simone tells Amber that he knows her.
Pará, ya voy, no te muevas, estoy yendo, estoy yendo.
Bien.
Sí, no, yo
¿Tú?
también. ¿Qué haces acá?
Bueno, yo vine a buscar a Luna. De repente me cayó una cobija en la cabeza. Quiero pensar que tú no estabas limpiando la mansión, ¿o sí?
No, o sea, algo así. Me estoy deshaciendo de las cosas que ya no necesito. Creo que me van a venir muy bien un par de cambios en la vida.
Ay, padrísimo, padrísimo. Pues ojalá que esos cambios sean positivos. Ojalá que esta vez no te equivoques, Ambar.
¿Te preocupa mucho?
Yo sé que estás pasando por un momento un poco difícil. Si necesitas hablar con alguien o necesitas, no sé, que te escuchen, aquí estoy.
No necesito a nada ni a nadie, te agradezco muchísimo, me la sé arreglar muy bien sola.
Bueno, pero tampoco te hagas la dura porque te conozco perfecto, Ambar. Y yo sé que detrás de todo ese maquillaje y todo ese vestuario negro se esconde una muy bonita persona.
Eso es lo que querés creer vos. Pero no te equivoques, yo soy así. Esta que ves acá es la verdadera Amber.
Tú no eres esto.
¿Estás segura? Yo sé muy bien quién soy. ¿Qué pasa, Simón? ¿Te da miedo aceptar que te pasan cosas con alguien como yo?
This is their first conversation in season 3. Simone was leaving the house after seeing Luna, and Amber was doing some cleaning, so she threw a blanket on him by accident because she was throwing it off the stairwell, and then not knowing that anyone was there, so she ran down to get it off of him because he had no idea what was going on. And then all of a sudden they're like really close, and he she said she's clearing out, making some changes, and he said, I hope they're positive changes. And he goes on to tell her that he knows who she is and this isn't her, that under all the black and the makeup that she's still a nice girl. And she was like, maybe you just don't want to admit that you like someone like me. And she got like really close to him, like the way she teased him and flirted him this entire season is just hilarious. And then she like walks away, and then leaving him wanting more, and he just looks at her like, what just happened? And then he leaves. But it's cute. Number 16 is Amber talks about her and Simone's connection.
¿Qué onda con mi prima?
¿Qué onda de qué?
¿Qué onda de qué? ¿Me decís encima?
Sí.
Qué gracioso que estás hoy. Nada, llego, estar a 2 centímetros de distancia. No es que me importe, pero digo, no sé.
No, Ambar. Estábamos ensayando y estamos más conectados que nunca y yo estoy súper contento por eso.
¿Ah, sí? ¿Y tenés la misma conexión que tenés conmigo? Porque yo no patino con nadie tan bien como patino con vos. Qué lástima que no estás en mi equipo. Haríamos una pareja muy linda.
Eso está por verse. Buenas noches, Ambar.
Amber saw Luna and Simone very close, which made her jealous, even though she would never admit it. And so after Luna left, Amber was walking Simone to the door, and he she said, I saw you guys really close, and not that I care, of course, but she does, obviously. And then she's like, um, uh, he was like, well, we're really connected, and she's like, do you have the same connection with her as you have with me? Because I never skate as well with anyone with you. Too bad you're not on my team. And he was like, yeah, well, we'll see. And then he kisses her cheek before leaving. And her face when he kisses her cheek, the way she just closes her eyes and kind of melts into it for a minute before he leaves, it's just so sweet. Like, she could pretend to be this bad goth chick all she wants, but in the end, Simone unravels her in a way nobody else does. Number 15. Okay. Now, Simone brings Amber a drink while she's working.
Juguito de papaya con naranja para la más bonita del roller.
Ay, gracias, mi amor.
De nada.
Pero no te pedí nada, ya sabes, ¿no?
Ya sé que no me lo pediste, pero te lo quise traer yo. Si tú me pedías algo, me ibas a marear, Ambar. Porque me pides maracuyá con limón, naranja con pepino
Es
traído
verdad,
de
hubiese
Cancún.
cambiado 100 veces, me conoces muchísimo.
¿Mucho trabajo?
Ay, sí, sí, mucho. Estoy con el balance final, con los ingresos, con los gastos. Le tengo que dar todo esto a Vidia. Quiero que venga Ana a ayudarme, ya porque es como chino básico para mí esto.
Oye, te va a salir todo súper bien. Me encantaría quedarme aquí ayudándote para hacer esto juntos. Pero sabes que tengo un par de meses para atender. Sí, y entonces, si no los atiendo, no quiero que mi patrona se vaya a enojar conmigo, ¿entiendes?
No creo que pase eso, ¿eh?
¿No?
Me parece que es imposible que se enoje con vos.
¿En serio?
Sí. Bueno, chao. Voy a dejar de hacer todo esto porque me va a explotar el cerebro.
Ok, disfruta el jugo.
Lo disfruto.
Oye,
Gracias.
Oye, otra cosa.
Dime.
Y si ves a mi patrona, dile que eso.
¿Qué?
Que está preciosa.
This is near the end after they're back together, and Amber, Simone tries to get her attention, but she's like, "Give me a minute, let me finish what I'm doing." He was like, "Okay," so he waited, and then which is one thing I mean, there are many reasons why Simone is just superior than Benicio as a character and with their relations with Amber. Because first of all, Benicio just sucks. Benicio just sucks. Okay, one of the worst characters of this show, makes me more infuriated than almost any other character. But Benicio also wasn't like when Amber got this job that she actually loved. Benicio was always like, put me first. Okay, when I want to talk to you, talk to me first. And even though she's like, just give me a minute, let me finish this, then we can talk. Like, and but Simone's patient with her. He knows how important this job is for her. So when she's like, give me a minute, let me finish this, he's like, okay. So he waited for her, and then when she's done, she looks at him and they talked, and it was just really sweet. I love Simone and Amber. But anyways, moving on. But he brought her a drink, and she's like, I didn't order that. And he was like, well, I didn't want to ask you because you'll order this and you order that. And she laughed. She's like, oh, you know me. And this entire conversation, Benicio and Emilia are watching. Kind of creepy, but okay. And he kisses her hand, which is one of my favorite, absolute favorite little Simbar details. The way Simone always kisses her hand is just so adorable, and I do not hear her talk about it enough, but it is one of my favorite little Simbar details. So I just had to bring it up. Because he does it often. But yeah. So he kissed her hand, and then the two of them just had this little nice conversation. And yeah. So it was just really sweet. Number 14. Amber almost telling Simone the truth.
Que yo le diga a los demás de lo que me pasa. Pero otra completamente diferente es lo que yo siento adentro. Creo que nadie se imagina que yo a veces me siento sola. Muy sola. Pero no lo demuestro. No lo demuestro porque odio estar mal. No lo soporto, entonces me hago la fuerte, la que no me pasa nada, pero no es así.
Ok, Ambar, ¿te digo algo? Es de valientes llorar. Y es de valientes expresar lo que sentimos. Y tú te estás convirtiendo en una valiente. Porque estás cambiando muchísimo. Te felicito.
Sí, tienes razón. Cambió muchísimo. Y eso tiene que ver con vos, amigo. Simón, yo nunca en mi vida me había abierto así con alguien. No sé qué es lo que haces o qué es lo que hiciste, pero de verdad me das confianza. Y me hace muy bien saber que estás cerca mío.
So this was season 2 before they got together. I'm not sure if this was before their two almost kisses or this was somewhere in between or after their almost kisses but before they actually kissed. Um, but it's around that time, I'm pretty sure. But it's also another underrated scene. Amber ran out after practice and Simone chased after her to make sure she was okay. And I swear she says, "I'm ready to tell you the truth," and I swear, because afterwards, when she quickly changes what she was saying, she was like, "Well, what I mean is," and then kind of says something that obviously isn't what she was really going to say. And I truly believe that Amber was going to tell Simone the truth in that scene because he just makes talking to him so easy, and he makes her feel seen and heard like nobody else ever has. So he so in that moment she almost slipped and told him the truth, which is why she said that. But then afterwards she got her head was clear again and she was like, what am I doing? I can't do that. So she quickly finds something else to tell him instead. And also when they're sitting down on that bench, I have a screenshot of a scene from the because I have a lot of Simbar pictures on my phone because I am obsessed. um and there's just this moment when he's looking down and she's just looking at him with so much love. I'm like, how do you not know that you are falling for him at this point? Like, it is just so obvious. But yeah, I just had to bring that up because I think it's cute. Um, Number 13, their first almost kiss.
Ok. La verdad es que no estoy pasando por un muy buen momento.
Ok. ¿Qué pasó?
Estoy confundida. Pensé que tenía las cosas claras, que sabía todo lo que pasaba con mi vida. Y de repente me di cuenta que todo eso que sabía era una mentira. O sea, no sé nada de mí. Y no sé en quién confiar. Porque estoy sola, porque no tengo a nadie, porque es horrible estar así.
Ambar. Mírame a los ojos. No estás sola. ¿Ok? Yo no sé qué te pasa. Pero sí sé que voy a ayudarte.
So this was after the like the day after the Como Mi Vas thing, and Simone went to the locker room and Amber was crying and he wanted to check on her, see how she was doing after the day from what everything that happened the day before. And she said she's fine, and he said, "I know you're lying, but just so you know, I'm here." Because he always wants her to know that even if she's not ready to tell him yet, that he is there. He wants her to know that he is there for her for whenever she's ready, and it's just really sweet. And then um, she doesn't really tell him what's going on, but she kind of says how she's feeling, like everything's a lie, like she feels all alone because nobody loves her. Her friends don't talk to her anymore. Her things with her godmother are not easy, and um, he tells her that she's not alone because she has him. And then they almost kiss, and then of course Jasmine walks in, which interrupts them, and then they're both like, "Oh no no no, we weren't about to kiss. We were just talking." Like they were both in so much denial. Number 12. Simone giving Amber several drinks.
Ambar. Jugo de manzana, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Bueno, no te lo traje. Te traje 4 opciones porque yo sabía que me ibas a cambiar, ¿ok? Tienes jugo de durazno, tienes licuado de fresa, limonada con jengibre y menta y agua natural.
Yo no puedo creer lo que estás haciendo.
Pero si no, que prefieres uno de estos.
Quiero agua sin gas.
¿Viste?
Gracias.
Aparte es más fácil.
Para, permiso. Ahí está.
Now this scene from season 2 is so underrated, more so underrated than almost any other scene I think I picked. Okay, because I absolutely love this scene. It's just so adorable. So, um, in season two, there was a scene when Simone came over to Amber with 4 drinks, and she had ordered something, but he didn't bring it, and she instead brought her 4 completely different drinks, and because he knew that when he came over with her drink, she would decide that she wanted something else because that's a running gag of her character always doing that, and uh, and then he started listing all the drinks while smiling, and Amber started laughing because it's like this shows just how much he knows her and how much he could actually make her laugh, like unlike anybody else ever. And it's just such an adorable scene that's not talked about enough, and it's just so cute the way he brings these 4 drinks and the way Amber just laughs and shakes her head like seriously, and then uh, it's just so cute, and this scene needs to be talked about more because it's so underrated. Number 11. They're flirty skating before they officially get back together. This was near the end before it was. I'm pretty sure it's before they actually got back together. In 50 episode 56 of season 3, and because they were at the locker room when he's like, okay, how about we skate together? And she's like, okay. So they go skating, and the entire performance is so flirty. The way they get really close, and one of them would push the other away, and they'll like come here, and then like Amber told him to come here and he ducked, and it was just so cute and so flirty. Like I loved every minute of it, and I still love to rewatch it. It's just so adorable. Number 10, their hands touching.
Se acaba de ir, todavía no he tenido tiempo de extrañarla. Es súper buena onda, eso sí.
Sí, demasiado buena onda para mi gusto. Estaba todo el día ahí atrás tuyo como un perro faldero, me caía muy mal.
Bueno, eso fue sincero.
¿Y vos no querías que yo sea sincera?
No, sí, pero me sorprende que seas tan sincera. Has cambiado mucho.
No, ¿te diste cuenta?
Sí.
Gracias, al fin.
Oye, gracias por lo que hiciste con Mateo. Neta, gracias. Es súper importante para nosotros poder estar en la pista, entrenar con Juliana, no sé.
No, una pista vacía no sirve para nada, así que no me molesta.
Bueno, yo creo lo mismo que tú. Oye, espero que no tengas problemas con tus amigos.
No son más mis amigos.
Bueno, con tus compañeros de equipo.
Tampoco son más mi equipo.
¿Cómo? ¿Ya no estás...? No entiendo.
No, Emilia y Benicio no tienen nada que ver conmigo. ¿Me ayudas?
Sí.
This was in season 3 while they're preparing for Day of the Dead. Simone is helping Amber with it, and she tells him that she isn't friends with Amelia and Benicio anymore, and then he's like, well, your team, and then she's like, they're not my teammates anymore, I quit, and that shocked him and surprised him, but in the best way possible. And then they kind of stare at each other for a minute, and she's like, well, let's get this going, let's keep working on this. And he was like, right. So she hands him streamers, and then their hands touch, and they just stare at each other so intently for the longest time. And it's just it's not the longest scene, but it's just such an adorable one, and it shows how much they love each other, and like they're on the verge of getting back together. And if Benicio didn't do what he did, because he's Benicio and he's awful and he makes me want to go into Soy Lane just so I can strangle him, they would have gone back together in Day of the Dead rather than a little bit later. But maybe it's all for the best because of the scene that where they do officially get back together in 56. I'm not gonna talk about it now because it is on the list later on. But yeah, uh, it is an amazing scene. So maybe it all worked out for the best. But anyways, it's just such a sweet scene. So number 9, Simone understanding Amber's feelings.
Casualidad. Los dos hacia la misma dirección.
¿Sí? Yo no estaría tan segura de eso.
¿Ah, no? ¿No vas hacia el Jam and Roller?
¿Me quieres acompañar?
Ambar, quería hablar contigo por lo que pasó ayer en la noche.
¿Sí? Sí, ¿qué pasó?
¿Sabes a qué me refiero, verdad?
Ay, no. No, Simón, por favor, no estoy de humor para que me des lecciones de vida. No tengo ganas. Ahorrate tus comentarios, bueno.
Ok, estuvo muy mal lo que hiciste ayer en la noche.
¿Por qué? Yo dije toda la verdad. Desde que volví de Cancún, nadie me registra. Mi madrina de repente se fumó. Nadie sabe dónde está. ¿Y qué se les ocurre hacer a mi prima? Porque, ojo, ahora es mi prima. Y a mi abuelo organizar una fiesta. Me parece súper desubicado.
Bueno, no fui de tu prima. No fui de tu prima, Ambar.
Ya lo sé. Pero ella aceptó ser parte de esa farsa.
No, pero Ambar, ¿por qué farsa? ¿Por qué? Tu abuelo estaba súper contento porque por fin descubrió la verdad y Luna estaba muy emocionada porque por fin descubrió qué onda con su pasado. ¿Eso te parece una farsa? ¿Te parece que está mal? Tú deberías emocionarte por eso, no deberías ponerte así.
¿Y a nadie se le ocurrió pensar en mí?
So this would have been in episode 2 of season 3, I believe, when Simone is sees Amber walking, so the two of them start walking together, and because this is after everything that happened, and Amber making a whole thing during the party, Luna's party, and she makes this whole mess of it and stuff, kind of ruins it. And then one thing I mentioned in my video where I ranted about Simone and Amber and how much I love them is how Simone just really gets into other people's heads and their shoes and their feelings and their thoughts, and truly tries to understand why somebody would act the way they act. And that's what he does here. He listens to Amber, and he truly hears her, because she's been screaming for everybody to hear her this entire season, to understand her and why she feels the way she does, but nobody's truly listening to her at all or hearing her. But Simone does. He listens and he hears her, and he can't understand it. He can't understand why she's feeling the way she's feeling, and he even so much as tells her that she that her feelings are validated. Like she has a reason to feel the way she does. Like her entire life, she was told that this fortune, everything her godmother had, would go down to her. She was told that everything she would inherit. But now Luna's soul Benson, which means she's the rightful heir to all of it. Which means everything that Amber has worked so hard to earn, because Sharon would never just give it to her. She had to earn it, like, because it's Sharon. But everything she has worked so hard to earn was thrown away from her. And then Sharon up and left, and Simone and her broke up, and she doesn't talk to her old friends Delphi and Jasmine anymore. She truly feels alone, and like everyone just turned their backs on her. And Simone flat out tells her he understands, and um he and she has every right to feel the way she does, that her feelings are validated, but with also telling her that how she's doing this is wrong, because yes, she has a right to feel the way she's feeling, but also none of this is Luna's fault or Alfredo's or Monica or Miguel's, and going off on them won't help the situation. So he's able to understand her and tell her that her feelings are correct, but the way she's going about them is wrong. And it's just such a beautiful scene. Number 8 is Simone comforting Amber in the lockers in season 9.
Yo no puedo creer.
¿Tu teléfono?
Gracias.
¿Estás bien?
No me sueltes, Simón. Te lo pido por favor que no me sueltes.
Ambar, no sé qué está pasando, pero no te preocupes que todo va a estar bien. No estás sola, de verdad.
Or season 9. What? Okay. Season 3. So this was when Sharon had called Amber, but Amber got angry and threw the phone just as Simone walked in. And Amber looks at him and then just hugs him and is like, please don't let me go. And then he holds her for a minute, then he forces her to look at him and he's like, whatever you're going through, know you're not alone. I am here for you. And that's one thing that I noticed is a pattern is him constantly telling her that she's not alone, that he is there for her. And I think it's because it might seem repetitive, but I don't think it is, because I feel like knowing Amber's character and the way she is, she feels so alone and she needs that validation. She needs people to tell her that she's not alone, that someone is there for her. And that's what Simone does. Amber is all about words of affirmation. Like, she needs someone to be there and say, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I am here for you. And Simone was the only person that would. And Simone did it several times so that she wouldn't forget, no matter what happened, no matter how bad things got between them, that he is there for her. Because at this point, even though he is on talking terms with her now, he is still hurt by everything that happened. But he still wants to be there for her because he still loves her. And so he makes it a point to say, hey, you're not alone. I am here for you. And it's just really sweet. But then he hugs her again. And of course, Luna and Jasmine has to see. Because they really played up the whole Luna now has feelings for Simone. But they only did that so that Luna and Mateo wouldn't get together yet. And so they wanted Luna to be jealous of Simone and Amber, just like Simone was jealous of Luna and Mateo early season 1. Number 7 is Simone tells Amber about Day of the Dead.
Mucho la comida, mucho.
¿Y lo que más extrañas, qué sería?
Mi abuela. La extraño mucho.
Qué linda.
Es una persona hermosa. Ella tiene historias para todo. Para todo. Para lo primero que se te ocurra, ella tiene una historia. Siempre. Es increíble platicar con ella. También extraño mucho las fiestas que hacemos en casa, las fiestas que hacemos en México. Por ejemplo, ahora se hace una fiesta que es increíble, que es muy bonita, se llama Día de Muertos.
¿Cómo Día de los Muertos?
Suena raro, ¿no?
Rarísimo.
Sí, yo sé, pero es muy bonita. De hecho, es una fiesta súper colorida.
¿En serio?
Sí, llena de amor, de verdad.
¿De verdad? Vos me decís Día de Muertos y me imagino algo feo.
Sí,
¿Cómo
sí.
es?
Mira, es una fiesta que hacemos para recordar a las personas que ya no están aquí con nosotros. Y es súper especial porque es como linda. De verdad, es muy bonita, es con muchos colores. Hacemos ofrendas y ponemos fotos de las personas que ya no están con nosotros, como para recordarlos, ¿no? Ponemos flores de colores hermosos, pero hermosos, y hay un olor riquísimo. Es más, comemos un pan que se llama pan de muertos, que es riquísimo.
¿Cómo es?
Es como así, grande, y después tiene azúcar.
Ay, qué rico.
This is such a sweet scene, and I absolutely love it. I use it for a lot of my edits. I make a lot of edits, and I think I've made more Simbar edits than I made of just about any other character or couple. Because, like I said, I'm obsessed with them, and I have so many more planned eventually, at some point when I get to them. But Simone, Amber comes in and to the shed to talk to Simone, and Simone tells her how he's homesick because it's almost Day of the Dead, which is a holiday in Mexico, and he seeing all these people getting ready for it, and he's feeling homesick, and so she just listens to him as he talks about Day of the Dead, which is something important to him and his home. And it's just so sweet because I just love that scene so much, because the way Amber looks at him as he's talking, and then he's like, I'm sorry, am I boring you? She's like, no, not at all, keep going. And it's just so sweet to watch Amber just listening to Simone, because sometimes it's like Simone's always listening to Amber and stuff, and it's just really nice to see Amber listening to Simone and looking truly intrigued by everything he says, and even making contributions in the conversation, like asking questions and stuff, and showing that she is listening just like he always does for her. It's just so sweet. It also shows how much she has grown and how much she wants to be there for him, like he has always been there for her, and it's just such a beautiful scene all around. Number 6 is Como Me Vas.
Lo que quiera puedo ser como me ves. Cuando piensas que me iré todo al revés.
Un espejo, una señal.
¿Qué pasará?
Me preguntas qué será.
Lo verás.
Lo que todos quieren ser.
Como me ves.
Lo que siempre quieren
No
ver.
fallaré.
Un espejo, una señal.
¿Qué pasará?
Me preguntas qué será.
Nada cambiará. Esto es lo que soy. Mirarte a los ojos sin perdón. Mi fuerza, mi destino, es mi canción. Voy a salir de tu espejo. Tu voz que a lo lejos me encontró. Palabras que envuelven mi corazón. ¿Cómo me ves? Soy tu reflejo. Siempre estará en mí tu amor. Quiero decirte
Como me ves yo soy.
voy a salir de tu espejo. Tu voz que a lo lejos me encontró. Palabras que envuelven mi corazón. ¿Cómo me ves? Soy tu reflejo. Siempre estará en mí tu amor. Quiero decirte cómo me ves yo soy.
Como Me Vas. I talked about this performance a little bit earlier when I talked about the scene beforehand, and I absolutely love this performance. It's one of my favorites. Um, I just love the way Simone is there for Amber, and the way I love how he kisses her hand, how he keeps looking at her, making sure she's okay, and how when there's this one scene in particular I love when they hold hands, and then you can see her breathe in, and she visibly relaxes, and it's like despite everyone watching, including all the cameras, and knowing just how many people are out there watching, um, she feels like she's relaxed because in that moment it didn't matter how many people were watching. All that mattered was she was with Simone, and he was the one person that could make her feel better no matter what. And it was just such a beautiful performance, and I absolutely love it. Plus, they have great chemistry, and their singing voices are amazing together. um, Number 5 is The Kiss by the Lockers.
No sabía si iba a pasar en una semana, o en un mes, o en un año, o en 1000 años, pero sabía que te tenía que esperar y... Gracias.
No, gracias a vos. Son 1000 años que acabas de decir, los vamos a vivir juntos.
Sí, el problema es que 1000 años son muy poquitos para demostrarte cuánto te quiero. Y cuánto me haces bien y cuánto quiero estar contigo, Ambar, porque...
Me hace muy bien verte así de contento.
Gracias, estoy contento, estoy feliz. Feliz porque estoy contigo. Ambar, me encantas mucho. Y aparte Mateo nos invitó a cantar una canción en su nuevo disco.
Eso es muy bueno,
Eso
muy
es buenísimo.
bueno.
Y eso me pasa cuando estoy contigo. Como que las cosas buenas se me acercan. Y aparte, el nuevo proyecto con el Jam and Roller y que tú patines con nosotros, es como que todo es perfecto.
Todo es perfecto.
Todo, sí.
Todo.
Pero falta algo para que sea completamente perfecto.
¿Qué cosa falta para que sea completamente perfecto?
Pues yo creo que... No te dije.
No.
So this is season 3, episode 55. I put that down. Apparently, I wanted to remember it. But Amber shows up and shows him the folder, the binder that she had lost, that Emilia and Benicio had um stolen, that magically turned out back in his place. And that entire conversation is just so sweet. They talk about how they knew that they were gonna get to this point at eventually, and how they don't want to mess this up and they want to be together forever. And then they said everything's perfect now, and Simone's like, there's one more thing that can make it perfect, and Amber's like, what? And then he kisses her, and she kind of smiles into the kiss, and it's so beautiful. Number 4, the kiss when Amber asks Simone if he feels anything for her.
No, pará. Yo también tengo una pregunta para hacerte a vos ahora. ¿Sí? ¿Y para nosotros? ¿Va a haber otra oportunidad?
No. No, Ambar, nosotros no podemos estar juntos. Ándale, vamos. Vamos.
Es que por más que lo intentes y lo quieras con todo tu ser y todo tu corazón, no lo podés evitar. Simón, mírame a los ojos y decime en voz alta, lo quiero escuchar, que a vos no te pasa nada conmigo.
Lo intento. O sea, intento que no me pase. Pero...
This is season 3. I'm trying to remember, but I think it's episode 40. Another one of my favorite scenes. Simone asked Amber's looking for Benicio, and Simone asked her if she's told Luna about the Philippe's number yet. She says no, because she's too busy with everything going on, and she said she does want to do it. She wants to do the right thing. He just has to give her a chance. And he's like, okay. And then she's like, what about you and me? He was like, there's nothing between you and me. And she's like, and so they go back and forth for a few, and then she's like, you look me in the eyes and tell me that you don't feel anything for me. And he's like, I'm trying to, but, and then he kisses her, and it's such a beautiful moment. But they kind of argue afterwards, because Simone's like, I'm sorry, we shouldn't have done that. You have a boyfriend, and he's someone who's very moral, so that's not okay with him. And Amber's like, that's a title he gave himself. It's not serious. He's like, it might be serious to him, which is another thing to show how amazing Simone is. Because in my last video where I talked about Simone and Amber, I talked a little bit about how amazing Simone is as a character, and how good and pure and kind and sweet. Because like when Mateo humiliated him on the video, live on TV on the video thing, then a couple episodes later he's defending him to Luna, trying to tell her that he's not a bad guy, and I'm like, who does that? Simone is just awesome. And then he basically does the same thing here. Like, he hates Benicio more than he's even ever hated Mateo. Like, the two of them have beef and they have a bad past. And Benicio, since the moment he got there, has wanted everything Simone wanted. He wanted it in their apartment. He wanted it in their bed. He wanted the girl that Simone was falling for. He literally just wanted to destroy Simone's life for no reason. And but still he's saying that this might be serious to Benicio and he's not gonna do this to him. I'm like, he's just such an amazing person. Like, I love him so much. But anyways, moving on. Number 3. Ooh, we're in the top 3. Amber asking Simone out. Now,
Y ya que estamos acá, me encantaría hacerte una propuesta, a ver si aceptas. Tengo 2 entradas para la van premier de una película que muero por ir. Iba a ir con Delphi, pero bueno, ya sabes todo lo que pasó y no quiero ir sola. ¿A vos te gustaría venir conmigo?
Bueno, mira, en realidad...
Si tenés algo que hacer, no importa, de verdad, decime.
Déjame decirte por eso. En realidad, Ambar, me hubiera encantado ser yo el que te invite. Pero ya que hiciste tanto, está bien, acepto. Siempre y cuando yo invite a las palomitas.
Ok, te dejo. Bueno, tengo un solo amigo, pero es el mejor de todos. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Por qué me miras así?
Porque Ambar... Ambar tiene los ojos más bonitos que había visto en mi vida. Además, has cambiado mucho y me caes muy bien así.
Simón, todo lo que cambié es gracias a vos.
A mí.
Sí, de verdad. Desde que empezamos a ser amigos, empecé a ver las cosas de otra manera. Es como... Voy a decir algo muy cursi, que probablemente después me arrepienta por haberlo dicho, pero lo voy a decir igual.
Bueno.
Ok, ¿estás preparado?
A ver.
Es como si hubieses iluminado...
¿Mi camino o qué?
Sí, iba a decir eso en serio. No, en serio, Simón.
This is another scene that I don't think should be as underrated as I feel like it is, just because I never hear anyone talk about it. But it's just so sweet because one thing I love about Simone and Amber, well, one of the many things, but is that Amber from the very beginning she's met, she's portrayed to be this cool, calm girl, like this cool, popular girl, right? But then when she's around Simone, he makes her lose her cool, which nobody else has ever been able to do. Like her reaction when she saw the rose, which I'll get to when I get to that one. But it's just so adorable. And another thing where she loses her cool is in this scene, and they're walking, and she says she actually wanted to talk to him about something, which is why she asked him to take that walk with her. And she said she has tickets and she wanted him to go with her. I think it was like a movie or something, and he uh and but when she's trying to ask him out, it's just she gets all like gushy and blushing, and she just gets so nervous and shy. I'm like, this is not usually Amber, but only Simone can make her this way, which is just so adorable. And there's one scene in particular where he she kind of just like looks away and then looks back, and she just looks so shy. It just not how she usually is portrays herself, and it's just so adorable to watch this side of her that only Simone brings out. But yeah, it was just an adorable scene. Um, Two is their first kiss.
Es gracias a ti. Tú siempre tuviste esa luz, Ambar. Solamente tenías que aprender a dejarla salir.
Yo lo único que sé, Simón, es que cuando estoy con vos, siento que el mundo se frena. Que no existe nada más que vos y yo.
Me pasa lo mismo. Y no quiero que este momento se detenga nunca.
Voy a salir de tu espejo. Tu voz que a lo lejos me encontró. Palabras que envuelven mi corazón. ¿Cómo me ves? Soy tu reflejo. Siempre estará en mí tu amor. Quiero decirte cómo me ves yo soy.
So afterwards they go on after, like, I don't know if it was like later in the episode or an episode later or whatever, but they go on their date. And we don't actually see their date. We see, or actually, I think we see it before their date, because I think after the scene they rush off to the movie. But yeah, so they're walking and they're having a nice time, and they Simone stops to pick up a flower and give it to Amber. He tells her how amazing she is, and she says that this is different for her. She's never felt this way before, and um, they get really close, and then they kiss, and it's just such a beautiful moment. And then afterwards is also really funny because they start talking, and I think again Amber wanted to tell Simone the truth because she was realizing she was in love with him and she didn't want to hurt him. But at this point, they are way too deep, so no matter what, he was gonna get hurt. Like there was no getting out of that this time. But then they realized they were gonna be late for the movie, so he picks her up and runs, and it's hilarious. It's so cute. So now we're on to the honorable mentions.
Además, ese maquillaje a ti no se te ve mal.
a ti no se te ve mal, ¿qué significa eso? ¿Que yo soy horrible con el maquillaje que tengo puesto? No, no te rías, es grave esto.
Pues, Ambar, obviamente no me refiero a eso. Tú eres una chica súper segura y con una personalidad muy marcada y muy fuerte. Ese maquillaje se te ve súper bien. Número 2, es súper difícil que a ti algo no te quede bonito, ¿ok? Además, Ambar, mira, no importa ni el maquillaje, ni el vestuario, ni el peinado, ¿ok? Porque todo eso es algo superficial. Lo que importa es que tú confíes en ti misma y solamente eso te va a llevar súper arriba.
Ok. Gracias. No lo había pensado de esa manera. A mí, lo que peor me pone es estar tan mal con mis amigas y que no estén en el momento que más las necesito. Yo ya me cansé de decir que cometí un montón de errores. Cambié de verdad y ellas no lo pueden ver.
Pero yo sí lo puedo ver. Ambar, muchas gracias por ayudarme a encontrar el capotraste. Fue súper buena onda. Eres una buena amiga, ¿ok? Y yo también quiero ser buen amigo. Y no voy a permitir que tú no subas a ese escenario y cantes con todo. ¿Entendiste?
Cercas y me cuesta hablar. Me miras y no pienso. Y ahora me culpo por dentro y me arrepiento.
Buscas en mi corazón y confundes eso. Quiero sentir dónde estoy. No te vayas lejos, juntos somos contra el mundo. Una voz por un segundo, el silencio, una mirada. Llévame, juntos sin decirle a nadie. Tómame, yo soy culpable. Con un beso, una mirada. Llévame,
Solos contra el mundo.
llévame, el silencio, una mirada. Juntos somos contra el mundo. Juntos solos contra el mundo.
No entiendo si siempre fuiste tan distante, tan arrogante. Te acercas y me cuesta hablar. Me miras y no. Y pienso si es verdad lo que siento. Solo un momento.
I'm a runaway, jumping on a place. Be my parachute, throw me in the skies. Nothing left to hide, just to find your prize. Catch me, catch me, catch me if you can. Catch me, catch me, catch me if you can. Catch me, catch me, catch me if you can. Catch me, catch me, catch me if you can. Maybe I should hit the ground. Maybe I'd be spellbound. That I'm not afraid at all.
¿Cuántas veces te tengo que pedir perdón?
No insistas, Ambar.
Al menos me respondiste. Es un avance. Me gustó tu canción.
Gracias. Esta canción me gusta mucho.
Se nota. La cantás con mucho sentimiento.
No sabía que estabas escuchando.
Obvio que sí. Podría estar horas así.
¿Qué onda? ¿No me vas a dejar pasar?
Si te dejo.
Benicio, ¿qué es lo que quieres? O sea, ¿qué quieres lograr? De verdad.
¿Qué pasa, Simón? ¿Tenés miedo?
Sí, ¿sabes? Tengo mucho miedo. Va a lastimarte.
Siempre tan considerado, ¿no? No finjas conmigo.
Es que yo no soy el que está mintiendo.
Ah, verdad. Tú eres el niño bueno, ¿no? Deja de actuar. Sé que en el fondo nos envidias. Sos un losers. No tienes ni una casa, ni una banda, un proyecto de equipo. Nada.
Bueno, basta. ¿Sí? Ya está. Sí.
No estoy hablando contigo, Ambar.
No, es que yo sí estoy hablando con vos. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Soy la encargada del roller. No quiero que se peleen más en la pista.
¿Seguro solo por eso?
Mira, Benicio, si la energía que gastás molestando a los demás la usaras para aprender a patinar, estaríamos todos tan felices.
¿Qué onda? ¿Todo bien aquí? ¿Te está molestando?
Wow, eso sí que no lo esperaba. ¿Acaso no puede defenderse sola?
Ok, Benicio. No me interesa escuchar tus frasecitas. Lo voy a hacer súper rápido contigo. Tú te metes con mi chica y te metes conmigo. Y no te conviene, ¿ok?
Tranquilo, tranquilo, Simón. Disfrute mucho.
¿Lo estamos disfrutando?
Porque eso se va a acabar muy pronto.
¿Por qué lo dices?
Qué ansioso, igual que tu noviecita. Ya van a ver.
No te tengo miedo.
Deberías.
No, tú eres el que me debe tener
Bueno,
miedo.
ya está, Simón. No tiene sentido seguir perdiendo el tiempo con gente como él. Mírame, listo. Sí,
¿Sabes qué? Si Benicio te llega a decir algo que te haga sentir mal, quiero que me lo digas, ¿ok?
obvio, gracias.
Hola, Caterina. Soy Simón.
Hola, Catrín. A verte, me encanta tu disfraz. Qué buena corbata.
¿Te gusta?
Sí. ¿Y los guantes? Buena máscara, me encanta, te queda muy lindo.
Tú también te ves hermosa. Te quedó muy bien tu disfraz.
Muchas gracias.
Tengo muchas ganas de verte bailando por aquí.
¿Cómo? Perdón, ¿vos estás queriendo decir que me vas a sacar a bailar?
Puede ser, puede ser.
No, ¿cómo puede ser, Simón? Disculpame, pero soy una persona muy ansiosa y quiero saber si voy a tener chances o no de bailar con el chico más lindo de toda la fiesta.
Pues mira, la fiesta apenas empieza. Y es muy larga, así que todo puede pasar, ¿o no?
Hola.
Ambar, estás como, no sé, cambiada.
Sí, ¿y eso es bueno o malo?
Muy bueno, estás como más relajada, más feliz.
Lo estoy.
Oigan, qué bonita flor, ¿no? ¿No les parece que sea bonita?
¿Te gusta?
Sí.
Es un regalo que me hicieron. El más lindo de todos.
Dos cosas. Ellos están tramando algo.
Sí, eso
Y
ya
la
lo sé.
segunda, que es más importante, es que me encanta.
Mi amor, tengo una pregunta. Hace un año, ponele, ¿vos te imaginaste que nosotros dos íbamos a terminar así?
No,
Ay.
no me lo imaginé una vez, me lo imaginé 10 veces. Oh, no, no 10, la verdad como 100. ¿Sabes qué? Ambar, te prometo que un
Now we're on to number one. So I technically have two scenes as number one, but it's just because I kind of think they go together. So I have Simone telling Amber how beautiful she is, and then later on, Simone and Amber finally getting together with the rose petals.
¿Te parecen bonitas?
Muy.
Bueno, pues te voy a contar un secreto. Tú no puedes verlas mucho, ¿ok? Porque se van a poner celosas.
Ay, no, Simón, ¿qué decís? Las flores son mucho
Es
más
verdad,
lindas que
Ambar,
yo.
eres tan linda, de verdad te lo digo, que no lo puedo creer, no. Y aparte, Ambar, veo en tus ojos algo que es tan lindo, una luz tan particular que me vuelve loco.
Ay, gracias, Simón. Es muy lindo todo lo que me estás diciendo. Nadie en la vida me había hablado así.
So in this, first Simone and Amber are talking. Late at night, Simone gets a white flower from the vase and gives it to her and goes on and on about how beautiful she is, and she's so stunned that somebody would actually think about her like this and talk to her like this. She said, "What you're saying is so beautiful. I never felt this way. I never had anyone love me like this." And he's like, "I think it's finally time," and he was talking about ready to get back together until Monica shows up, and she's like, "Maybe it's bedtime." They were like, yeah," and then Amber is about to go upstairs when Simone stops her, gives her the rose, kisses her hand, and then um, Simone waves to Monica and leaves, and Amber. As she looks at Simone, she's walking up all elegantly, trying to, be her normal, cool self. And then once um, he's gone, she smells the rose, and then she grins and just runs up the stairs all giddy. And like I said, I just love that little detail about Amber. But anyways, later on, there's a knock at Simone. There's a knock at Amber's door, so Simone. Yeah, okay. There's a knock at Amber's door, so she opens it, and she sees white petals, and and a white rose. So she grins, knowing that it's Simone. So she leans down, picks up the rose and sniffs it, and then she's like, "Yes!" And it's just so adorable because you never would have seen her like this with anybody else. But I love those little moments that we get with Amber acting like this with Simone. It's just so adorable. But then she walks and she follows the rose petals all the way down until she sees Simone. And um, they are completely silent as she walks up to him, and then he's holding another wild rose that he gives to her, and she takes it, and the two of them kiss. And then afterwards, they have a nice conversation about uh how they want to be together forever and how um they don't want to mess this up, and it's just such a beautiful moment, and I absolutely love it. It's definitely my not just my favorite Simbar moment, but one of my favorite moments from the entire series. Two Booths. It's just so beautiful and amazing, and I just love them so much. They're definitely one of my all-time favorite ships to ever exist. Definitely in the top three. Um, and I just love them so much, and I just wanted to talk about them. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. Um, what your favorite Simbar moments are. If I missed it, let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.